DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, we've gone live. Yeah. Right now, it is the 31st of July, and it's just before the 1st of August. You're going to say, yeah. Well, because in Switzerland, the 1st of August is like the 4th of July. In America, there's firecrackers, and we're going to have, well, you probably already hear them, and I'm hoping by where I'm sitting right now that we will be able to have some time together with the day before. Certain communities have their show with all their firecrackers and the whole bing bang, and the majority, nevertheless, of the people have it on the 1st of August because the 1st of August is really the national holiday. Now, one of the reasons that many communities decide to do it on the 31st is that because the Swiss are very strict on when the holidays are, they would have we always have on the 1st, but then people work the 2nd. So some communities decided, well, why don't we do it on the 31st? Because then people can sleep over on the 1st, and they can still go to the ones at the rejoicings on the 1st of August, but they won't be hungover or whatever, for whatever. Yeah. Now, talking about hungover, I don't know if Andy's around. I'm having a Bunnahabend 12, but I think he's already gone camping. Now, if anyone's around, and I'm going to try and see if I can do a better job this time, show live chat messages. So if anybody comes on, I'll try this time to do a better job. Now, what I've noticed, some of you might know that my Mac laptop died. Well, almost. It was the graphic card that died, and the graphic card on the laptop is on the main board, which means that well, basically it means either you change the whole main board or you get something else. So I actually did get something else. I got an iMac, which is, a big computer, and my laptop, so it was a MacBook Pro, was connected to a what's it called? Not FireWire. Thunderbolt, sorry. A Thunderbolt 2 screen, which means that I had a 27-inch screen. I'm going to put my hands over here. A 27-inch screen that was connected to my computer. It was a fantastic thing. It was HD and everything. But now I can't use it anymore. So I've given it to my son, who still has his own Mac, and he can use it. And I have this iMac, which I mentioned the last time, maybe in one of my videos, which is what they call 5K. So you'll hear all these things. Now, while we're chatting, I'm going to send a message out there saying that I am live. I don't know if I can do that actually from here. I don't think so. So I'm just going to send a message on Facebook. I'm live on YouTube, so people can come over if they want. I'm live on YouTube. YouTube now. Here we are. So I'm posting that. Looks backwards over here, and I'm going to send one over to Irene. I don't know what she's doing. She's with Penelope, she told me, because we had a Viber, not a chat, but a message earlier. And since I'm taking my time today, I don't really care if anybody's there or not. Well, I do care, actually. Okay, so I made a video with Mrs. DC earlier today because we went out geocaching. We spent some time together. Well, I mean, it's nice. She was free today. She's working tomorrow. So yeah, I have the day off tomorrow. So we were able to take some time. I took an extra day off today so that we could have some time together. Like I said, the Swiss are very sticky on the days very often that they have, the holidays. They don't always make long weekends. Some companies make differences on that. But where I work, no, they don't. If it's on a Sunday, well, you know, tough luck. You're just not going to get the holiday that year. That's all it is. There are no real laws. There are a certain number of what we call official holidays in Switzerland. But again, if they come on a weekend, it's just tough luck. So if they're all on the weekend, you won't have any extra days off. Yeah. What you see in the background is the apple tree, the one that I use for the tree vlogs the last few years. The first tree vlog was not in the apple tree; it was in my plum tree, which does not exist anymore. I had made an absolutely stupendous video on the Four Loves by C.S. Lewis. You have to go see it. Yeah. So I'm still talking alone, but that doesn't matter because, you know, when you do a vlog, you're talking alone anyway. So you hear those things. I'm going to play around because nobody's around right now, so let me see. Change the camera. So this is the view when eventually there should be some fireworks, but there aren't any right now, so I'm coming back to me. Yeah. So here we are. Can you imagine I've already spoken 7 minutes and a half and haven't said anything really? You know. But I'm waiting, you know, because the fireworks are going to come. And it doesn't really matter. I mean, this is like, it's a live stream, so it's not taking any place on my hard drives or stuff like that. For those who want to get a little bit technical, I'm on the iPad, and YouTube Live works really, really good on the iPad, except for the comment things when people send comments. Maybe it's just me that I don't really know how to do it. On the other hand, if I'm on my Mac upstairs, I've noticed that I don't know, I might have to install something. I had done it before on my former Mac, but I tried the other day and it just wasn't working. So what can I say? It doesn't work. Now, there's going to be a crescendo right now. What time are we? Over here in Switzerland, let me see, it's 10:05 in the evening. So usually the fireworks, I mean the official fireworks, start around 10:30 or around that. They wait until, I mean, it's dark. Because, I mean, what's the use of having fireworks if there's no, you know, if it's not dark? So I'm just going to continue with this Bunnahabend. So today, like I was saying, I went out with Mrs. DC. Excuse me. We started off, our day was actually pretty cool. We had no stress. Since she wasn't working, I wasn't working. For me, it was like really, really late. I got up at 8:30. That is really, really late for me. And then we went over to the town dump, garbage, the recycling, what would you call it officially? The recycling center? So we went over there and we brought our recycling glass, plastic, When I say plastic, though, that's the PET bottles and anything that's not paper and so on. So we brought that over. And after we left there and went over to try and do a geocache, I say try because it's one of these geocaches which I had searched a certain time, and you had to find, it was a plaque which was on a very obscure trail. It's quite amusing actually, because one of the most famous composers in Switzerland wrote a very, very famous song, and this plaque is basically where he wrote the song, supposedly, can I say, is like nowhere. It's like in the middle of nowhere. So I had to work a little bit on, you know, Google is your friend, and to find that, a little bit of water. One thing I have learned, very much so, is if you're going to drink some bit of whiskey, hydrate yourself. Yeah. Anyway, so we found, I found where that plaque was, and there's that big inscription on a rock. And then you have to make what you call a projection. So the projection was 512 meters from where I was standing with 187.3. Can you tell you're in Switzerland? 187.3 degrees. Okay, so that brought us onto a trail which I knew. The problem is that it all depends, these projections, are you standing here or are you standing there? And then it makes very small, at first effect, you think it's very small, but if you're 512 meters, so a meter is a yard, so 512 yards, if it's a little bit, it's a long bit after 512. So when I walk, frankly, I just couldn't find it. So I sent off a message to the so-called owner, and he told me basically I was there. I mean, I thought I was, but I was in we had a lot of, we had a thunderstorm the last few days, and it was in a hill, and I'm not talking about a little hill, I'm talking about like this, and it was very slippery because of the mud. And I thought, like, do I really want to go into that? So I sent him a mail saying, you know, I don't think that you would have put it in the mudslide. And he answered back to me and said, no, I didn't, and so on. So I'll go over the weekend and find it. And then we went over to this place called Morton. You can tell the climax is coming. So we went over to this place called Morton, and that's where we made the video that I showed you. And we made what in the geocaching things are called a letterbox. Now, a letterbox is usually a geocache where there's a stamp, which you can stamp into your own book if you have, or you can use your own stamp into the logbook. I think in America, those who are into geocaching, usually the geocaches do not have multi-steps. Sorry, I said that wrong. For the geocache, at least I said that wrong. The letterboxes in America, I don't think have multi-steps, but I could be wrong. In Switzerland, very often the letterboxes are just like multis. And not only in Switzerland, in Europe as well. I've done it in Ireland as well, and they were like multis. Multi means that what we did actually is that we did like you would walk. The first one was find a house on a certain street where there's a ladder, and if you see that ladder, you will see a street number. Okay, so the street number was A. Then the next one was go to this scenic view and count how many, there was a plaque, count how many mountains have their altitudes written. 8. And the next one was find an old age fire hydrant and do the iterative sum of the identity of the fire hydrant. So it was 110. So 110 was 1 plus 1 plus O makes 1 plus 1 plus O makes 2. So that was the iterative sum. So basically it was 282. Then we had the final, I mean we put all those things together. There was something to tell us where to go, and we found the final, which was at the tourist burrow, and there was a padlocked case which had a key to the mailbox. So 282 was the padlock, which I had found. We had found. I was in DC. And we opened that. And then once you opened that, you had the key to open the mailbox. And once we opened the mailbox, we had found the cash, and there was the box and the logbook and so on. You know. So okay, I've been speaking now for close to 60 minutes. Nobody knows that I exist. It doesn't really matter. The only problem with these live feeds is that after, who the heck is going to go and sit? You know, I have seen like Andy Fequig, he's Foodquig on these channels. He makes these live feeds of 5 hours. I'm sorry, I just can't listen to 5 hours, so I listen to little bits, which are very interesting, and it actually puts me off, to use another term, that I can't be with them for 5 hours. But I don't know actually who the people are. I mean, I see the names, but you have to have the time to do that. And of course there's a time differences over there. So here we're going. Let me see. What time is it again? I'm thinking in Swiss time right now. 10:15. We'll probably be here for a while, because I'm hoping to be able to bring you to a time where there will be fireworks. If not, I'll probably just simply erase this video, but we'll see. 2 years ago, is it more than 2 years ago now? I almost need Irene to help me. When the year that they came, which was 3 years ago now, I guess, we built the deck. We had the deck built with the roof, and on top of this is wood, what you can see, but it's tiles like on top, and it's, you know, it was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. I mean, we're talking about Swiss costs here, but it was worth it. It really was. I mean, the table that I'm sitting on, let me see if we can show. You can't really, can't really make justice of it. But it's a table that we bought that is, we're able to sit like 12 people around it. So when the whole family is here and their friends, and the second son of DC does have a lot of friends. So if we have like certain things going on, all of a sudden they'll be with us. So it's nice. I mean, we moved that over the other day. We were the other day 15 or 16 people here on the deck, comfortably sitting. You know, yeah, it was good. So what was I talking about in that respect? Excuse me. I don't know anymore, really. I'm trying not to burp in front of you. Yeah. You know, after a while, I mean, I rarely vlog this long. I mean, where is it, 19 minutes? And still nobody's around. Doesn't really matter. I'm enjoying the evening. It's been a great day, like I said. I was talking about what we did. Yeah, so I mean, once we did that finest geocache, before we had the geocache, we went for a pizza, and it was a wood fire pizza. So there's these restaurants here. I guess it's probably the same in the States and Canada, but they have these wood fires. So basically, you're cooking your pizza on charcoal. It was really good. I always take a gorgonzola pizza. So for those of you who want to look it up, gorgonzola, if I'm not wrong, is an Italian cheese. It's kind of a blue vein cheese, full fat or whatever. I really, really like it. So my favorite pizza is always a gorgonzola. If I see gorgonzola in the pizzas, done, sold, and I will get it. Yeah. And Mrs. DC, I was going to say she took a vegetarian pizza. I think she did actually this time. Sometimes I kind of laugh because she takes a vegetarian pizza and adds, because she likes the vegetables, and she'll take a like vegetarian pizza and add meat to it. But this time, what pizza did she take? She took an extra load of vegetables on it. Anyway, so that was what we had actually before doing the geocache. And once we had done the geocache, then we went back to the car. In Switzerland, we have these discs, and very often, I say these discs. These are parking discs, and you put the time at which you've parked. So I cheated. We went back to the car and changed the time back to the one it was, so that way we didn't get any fine. And we walked towards the lake, and that's where the video is that I've got on YouTube. The first one, we walked down, we sat down a little bit. Like I say, we really, really enjoyed the time together. I made a video, was it last week? Sorry, what I'm saying last week, was it Thursday or Friday? And I was saying that we had been together 37 years, which is wrong. We've been married for 37 years, but we have been together for 44. Yeah. Our wedding anniversary is the 16th of August, and that'll be 37. But the time we've been together as boyfriend-girlfriend is 44. It's a heck of a long time. When you think about it, sometimes I really think it's like, wow. Anyway, and so we were sitting down, and then we went down to the lake shore, and there was soft ice cream. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, soft ice cream. And she got vanilla strawberry, and I got vanilla mocha. Those are actually the only two possibilities. And we walked along the lake shore. It's a really nice place. It's a 15-minute drive from home. Really nice little lake. A lot of people like to live there because of just the simple quality of life around there. And we walked along, and then after a while, when we were finished, we went back to the car and drove home. Yeah. And then, once I was here, excuse me. And there's a little story here. Actually, it's quite amusing. I mean, we're just kind of waiting, and I'm just kind of vlogging, and 23 minutes. Really nice, the Bunnahabhain 12. So, once we got home, Mrs. DC is a television fanatic. She loves TV. She loves movies and so on. Okay, so she was watching her movies and stuff. And I put up the video that we've done on YouTube, for YouTube. And then I realized that not too far from where we live, where there used to be a florist shop, there was now a barber. And I mean barber in the old way of saying it, you know, like a 3-chair. Floyd would be unbelievable. Floyd from Andy Mayberry. So all of a sudden I can't remember. The Andy Griffin Show. I don't know, for some reason I always called him Andy Mayberry. The Andy Griffin Show. Floyd used to talk about a 2 or 3 chair barber shop, I guess. So in Europe, the Turks are really well known. Turk meaning Turkey, Turkish people, are really well known to be excellent barbers. And this was in our part of the town. They took over that florist shop. And I saw that, and the price was really, really good. Now, they do what they call dry cut haircuts. So they don't wash your hair. They got these spray guns, and basically do it that way. They're very good with scissors, with knives, with the shavers. They're professional killers. Anyway, so I said to Ms. DC, you know, I think I might try that guy, because my normal barb hairdresser, person who cuts my hair, is a lady who is retiring, and she's now only like 3 days a week, and it's become a pain actually getting appointments. And this one is a 5-minute walk, maybe less than 10-minute walk from home. So I walked over to there, and I said, I'm going to go over there and get my hair cut. I need to get my hair cut because in 2 weeks' time, I got a business meeting and I got to go to Sweden. So I thought, well, okay, why not? And I haven't had my hair cut in a while. You've probably noticed I don't get my hair cut very often. So I went over to the barber. It was a hip hop place. Oh, do you see? I don't know if you saw, there was some bug in the background. Yeah, so I got there, hip hop music. I put it on Facebook. The guy, the main barber, you know, he's got these hat on, screwed on backwards, and shorts. It was really hot in there, but anyway. And I walk in and I said, can I get my hair cut? He said, yeah, sure. And he said, do you have an appointment? I said, no, I don't. Well, he says, you'll probably have to wait. And I realized, you know, when I was a kid, I used to go to a barber shop, and I never had an appointment. We just go in, walk down, sit down, and I would actually be happy when I would have time and not have my hair cut right off, because he had comic books. Now, this was the place that I first learned to love about comic books. Now, before I get on to my barbershop story, if ever any of you who are going to ever get to 27 minutes, you go to readcomiconline.to. Unbelievable. All the comic books that we have known as kids are there. Okay, stop that. Back to the barber shop. Now, here I was at the barber shop, and he tells me, okay, you're going to have to wait. There's 2 people ahead of you. There's 2 chairs are being used. One guy, I couldn't believe it. I mean, he was so precise on the guy. The guy was having his hair shaved, but only part of it. Goodness sakes, it was a work of art. It really was. He was doing such a great job. Then there was the other one, his eyebrows. He had unbelievable eyebrows. So the barber had this kind of wire, and he was trimming the guy's eyebrows with that wire. I mean, the detail, I mean, it was just I was looking at them, I was thinking, like, here are these kids watching hip hop, listening to hip hop. They don't look serious at all, but they are doing such a professional job. Okay, then the guy, he was Syrian, finally. He wasn't Turkish. He said to me, would you like a coffee or something to drink? I said, well, yeah, sure. So he brought me on a tray, he brought me a coffee, glass of water, and then at one point the music was pretty loud, the hip hop music. And I was the old guy, I really was. It's so funny. I mean, today, now I'm like the old fart now. I mean, I never used to be like that, but more and more now I'm the old fart whenever I go somewhere. And he turned to me and he said, are you okay with that? And I said, yeah, sure. And are you okay with the music? And so I thought, well, yeah, sure I am. All of a sudden, excuse me, I'm just looking because I've got I hope that you're going to be able to hear me. Goodness sakes, I'm putting this closer. I have this loudspeaker. And I don't know if there's a microphone on it, so I'm just putting it closer. Goodness sakes, if I've been talking 30 minutes and nobody's going to hear me, I would hate that. Anyway, so I said, no, the music's okay. I didn't really like it, but goodness sake, it's their house, so to say. And so I waited a while. The kid before me who had his hair cut, if you look on Facebook, you'll see the Facebook account I have in America, with mostly American people, I should say. I actually have the pictures of the people. The one I put in Switzerland, I have scrubbed their faces away so people cannot recognize them. Now, when I got to him, I said, well, you know, look, I comb my hair. I just basically comb my hair all the way back. I brush my hair all the way back. I don't want you to use your razor or whatever. You have scissors, you use your scissors. He says, no problem. I know how to do that. And that's what he did. So he cut my hair. He cut my hair, as far as I'm concerned, he cut it well. He did a professional job. You could tell he knew. And we had a really good chat. He was from Syria. He's not been able, because of the war, it's the last 7 years, he's not been able to go home. And at the end, contrary to the place I was before, where the lady just kind of sprays this stupid effing gel on my hair, which I hate. I really hate that. I don't put stuff like that in my hair. And then he said, you want anything in your hair? I said, no, I don't. He says, okay. He says, you just want it natural. I said, yeah. I said, don't put any of that guck in my hair. Okay, so no problem. So once we were finished, I paid a very reasonable price. And he said, well, in our chat, you told me you had 2 boys. I said, yeah. So he gave me two packages of hair gel. These, whatever, stupid hair gel, whatever. So anyway, he gave me those 2 hair gels. So I can give it to them, or they can do whatever they want with it. But it was fun. It actually was fun. I was by far, I could have been well, I mean, I was at least the dad of all these people. I say at least, because coming up to 60, I would probably not be a grandfather. But I was like an old dad. But it was fun. It was okay. And you know what? I'll probably go back. Oh, we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. Some people have bought some big ones. Okay. We might be getting to the cup. Okay. I'm showing you. Okay. The communities around here have started the big bangs. So we'll see if we're going to see anything now. It's just over that apartment building over there in front of us. I'm going to close the light here. Maybe we'll see that. Okay. So let's see if we see anything. So people, oh, you know what's going to happen? Is that most of the stuff is going to be just behind that apartment building in front of you. So we're not going to see anything. Oh, Scheiße, as they would say in German. Actually, if I'd be a little bit more specific, I'd say Scheiße Hunde drauf. Which means actually the dog shits on it. Okay, we're not going to see much, are we? We're just seeing... Sorry about that, people. Okay. Doesn't make any difference, but at least I can see what I'm doing. So what you're hearing what you're hearing but not seeing is the fireworks of one of the towns over there. No, I'm trying to move around to see if you can see it. Well, sorry about that. We're really not going to get much out of it. Sometimes I've been able to get it on another angle. It just depends which way they're shooting the fireworks. But the apartment building in front of us is blocking everything. Well, if it comes back and I see more, I will bring you there. Otherwise, you know something? You might enjoy more seeing my face, nevertheless, than a non-existent firework. And we're up to 36 minutes live. I've never done such a long video, I don't think. But it's live. Okay, so I have finished my Bunhaben 12. Yes, I have. So for the people that are still here and not here, I'm going to have a Springbank 15. Can you hear the fireworks? Okay. I told Mrs. DC that I'd be outside for the fireworks. Like I said, she was in bed already because she's working. I'm gonna just excuse me just a minute. I'm gonna close the light here and see what it gives. Is that too dark? Oh yeah, it really is. Sorry about that. Yeah, you really need the light if you're gonna see me a little bit at least. So you're asking me probably, why am I staying outside? I'm hoping there's going to be better fireworks because for the moment I can't see anything. I can just hear them. Okay, so I might as well drink whiskey, right? There you are. It's funny, I can see it backwards. I imagine that once it's on YouTube it won't be. I'd have to live on the other side of the apartment building that's right in front of us. I mean, we've lived here now for what is it, 18 years? No, 19 years. And depending on the years, I've been able to have very good views from here. So the fact that I can't kind of shows me that maybe they've moved the maybe they've, you know, I don't know, have they changed the trajectory or whatever. I don't know. 38 minutes. It's the longest video I have ever done. I wonder if I should bother ever doing longer, you know. There's a little finish button over there. Should I touch it? Okay. Get my camera. Sorry. My phone. My iPhone 6. Let me see. What do we have here? Because anyway, nobody is going to come up in 39 minutes and listen to what I'm talking about. So I can say very obscene things. I won't, don't worry. I'm going to check if I have any mail. Oh, I got 2 mails here. Oh, there's a white paper. That's at work, white paper. I really don't want to talk about that right now. And there's a Yahoo mail. Oh, Food Quig. Oh, it's just telling me Food Quig has made a video. Okay. So there's nothing really. Well, I could always check Facebook and see if there's any likes. There's not very popular person, actually. No, there's really nothing here. You know something? What is good about social media? It brings things into perspective. So, what is your actual worth? And then you really see quickly that you're not worth much. You really aren't, actually. Okay, what's Mateo, Florida, people like your post. Oh, my barber posts. Okay. So we're just going to keep on and see. It doesn't matter if anybody else is there. I'm alone. I'm talking to myself. I've been talking to myself for over 40 minutes. It's impressive. It's impressive after a while. I have made vlogs before. I'm surprised I'm able to talk about these things non-stop. I've made vlogs. I can't see a darn thing. I made vlogs where we talk about how much you should like yourself, even if anything, love yourself. And oh, there was a little bit of something over there. Darn it, show something. Okay. A little bit of something. That is pretty pitiful. It really is. Darn it, I was hoping to be able to show you a lot more than that. WTF. This is really nothing special. Okay. Is that it? Is that all? Is that all you're going to be able to show us? Bringing it back to me. There really isn't. Sorry, my thumb. I'm on the iPad, as I've said before. Let me see if I can try and see. Actually, I can't see how my iPad. I'm trying to see if my iPad if the battery is low or not. You hear it? It's climaxing somehow. That's good. If ever you like whiskey, the Springbank 15 is fantastic. It really, really is. When you were kids, I was brought up in Canada, I was able to get firecrackers. We used to be able to go to little stores and get firecrackers, and we'd put them into tubes, like I guess it was either electrician or plumber tubes, and we would blow them off. It was a lot of fun. Let me see if I can get some type of... Nothing to see, just a lot of noise. I can't see anything. But like I was saying, we would have these firecrackers. I was never a violent person, but I love cracking those things. And I used to okay, you can get a little bit of action over there. Okay, and I would love actually when I was in the Army Cadets. Yeah, I was an Army Cadet. A lot of you know that by now. I'd love to shoot these were these 303s, 303s, which were converted into 22s. You're asking me, is that, what are you talking about? I don't know, actually. When I say I don't know, is because I don't know anything about guns. But a 303 into a 22, a 303 was a rather large, cartridge or bullet, and 22s were little dinky things, and we would shoot those. I don't even know. Maybe it's at my mother's, which I will find, in 500 years when we go over the stuff. But I had one of those medals. There's Boy Scout medals and there was Army Cadet medals, and I had a medal, not a medal, but a crest or something, which showed that I was a good shooter. I was, actually. Not anymore. I would not be with my eyes, but I had got a good medal for shooting those 303s, 303, converted into a 22. Yeah. It was at the basement of the Canadian Legion in southern Quebec. Yeah. Oh, goodness sakes. This brings back so many good memories. It does. When you have lived, I don't know, like my boys are really happy to have lived here in the city, but what they have not known is what it is like to live in a country village. I don't know, there's something about that. A country village with a good community spirit. Do you see that thing? A country village with a good community spirit is probably one of the best places to grow up in. That is not where my boys have grown up. That's where I grew up. But over here in Switzerland, we still have a lot of little villages like that. And when I talk with the people, this is exactly what they tell me. You know what we're hearing? I don't know if you can hear it. Somebody somewhere is playing the national anthem. There's something about being binational. What are we at? 48 minutes. There's something about being binational. I was, of course, I was born Canadian. I'm trying to see if I can get the light out of my... I'm moving over, sorry. Going back to where I was sitting in the beginning. Yeah, there's a better... The lighting is better. As I was talking about, there was something about being binational. When, like I was Canadian, I was born Canadian. You don't choose where you were born. But we did choose to become Swiss. And you choose it. How do you choose that? Well, one of the things, of course, in our case, our children were born here. But it's like we identified with the values here. I'm going to make a small digression. The community we're watching, it's over. It's finished. What time is it? It's coming up to 11. It's over. So now it's just like everybody, Monsieur, Madame, tout le monde. So everybody who has bought firecrackers are making their noise. So yeah, so I was talking about that. Anyway, I'm talking for myself. This is my vlog. Because nobody's there, nobody's going to get that far as they're watching this. And when we chose to become Swiss, like I say, there's a certain amount of values. I realize over time, even though I often thought that I was a liberal, finally I'm not a liberal. I'm a compassionate conservative. You know when you first started using that? People are going to start screaming at me now. I think it was George Bush. George W. Bush. But I can get it. I can really get it. You can be compassionate and still have family values. It's not like anything goes. Now, some people have actually told me since I live here is that you're a big hypocrite because, well, your son is gay. I thought, like, well, what is that? What is the difference? Because if you love someone, you're going to love them differently. You might not be like they are, but you're still going to love them. Finish the story. Yeah. I'm still going to try. While I'm at it, I might as well go for an hour. There's nothing going on anymore. So let's see if there's any mail. I'm running out of water. The water for the hydration. Still have a lot of whiskey though. You'd think there'd be more water than whiskey, wouldn't you? Okay, so we're gonna check my mail. So my mail, I have two accounts on bluewind.ch, which is the Swiss, basically the Swiss provider. Nothing on my Yahoo account. It's really annoying. I was hoping to show you something. I haven't seen anything myself. So what the heck? Okay, is there anything on Facebook? Nope. Nope. You know what, Bernie? You're one of the most boring farts, it seems. You really are. Nobody seems to ever watch your videos. Nobody cares when you're on Facebook. Nobody cares when you're on YouTube. Okay. So nobody's there. Check my second Facebook account. Yeah, I do have two Facebook accounts. One is the Dago Cleo account, and the other one is the one with my real name, which is Bernie something. And the Bernie something one doesn't have any more than the Dago Cleo account. Okay. So it doesn't mean, it just simply means that nobody cares or nobody's seen. It's not automatically the same thing. It doesn't mean that nobody cares. Nobody's seen. Somebody was asking me if I had a big YouTube account. And I was talking with them and I was saying, you know, not really. Not really. That is the understatement of the year. I thought, like, no, not at all. But I have been very, very, very active on YouTube for many, many years. The discussion that came out of that was like, how much has YouTube helped to change you? And I would say YouTube has helped to change me a lot. Look here, I'm talking 54 minutes already with no one listening to me, and I have been talking. Would I talk to myself for 54 minutes if I didn't have anything that I felt worth saying? And who am I talking to? I'm talking to myself. You see that finger? You don't see it that way. But when I'm pointing to a picture of myself. And that's the person I'm talking to. It is very important. Now, we are getting up to 55 minutes. What am I supposed to talk about now? I don't know anymore. Keep on stirring the glass. One could think there is nothing else to say. The thing is, there's always something to talk about. It might be about oneself. It might be about the fireworks that we don't hear anymore. And it might be about what's coming up. In the next day, there's going to be more fireworks. Yeah. But it doesn't make any difference. Fireworks don't define some people. They don't define who you are. They don't define a country. When we were driving around today, I was seeing many Swiss flags. Because when the 1st of August comes, that is the best time to see Swiss flags all over. And then I was thinking about all my American family, and all my Canadian family. And you know what's strange? When I say my American family, I often think about my American friends. Because being brought up on a border town, America was part of my life. And when I hear certain American songs, music, and so on, I tear up. I really do. Pledge of Union? I mean, I'm not American. I'm not. And I never will be. But there's just so many things of American values that get to me. And why is it that Canadians are just simply not as patriotic as Americans or Swiss? Sometimes if I realize if I had to be a binational, I'd probably be Swiss, and sorry Canada, I feel sometimes more American at times. Why? Because there's just so many more people over there which their values correspond to mine. And I think that part of that is a language issue. I lived in Quebec, which has become so anti-English over the years. And what language am I talking now? I'm talking English. And that hurts the hell out of me, because that is where I feel my heart is. My wife is French speaking, but somehow the English language is so important for us. And yet, the country and the part of the country where I come from, when you really get down to it, hates English-speaking people. So that means that it hates me. I've felt it over the years. I have. Coming up to an hour. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop very soon, but I'm going to do my whole hour. Why? I don't know. It's symbolic. An hour of talking with you, an hour of saying thank you for being with me, even though I know that none of you are going to make it up to this point. It's my video. It's for me. I'm doing it for me. 59, 40, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's been an hour. I've been talking to you for an hour. DC signing off. Take care, everybody.